It's 2:47 a.m. Your thoughts are racing, your chest feels tight, and no matter how hard you try, you can't stop analyzing that conversation from earlier, that text you sent, that decision you need to make. What's really happening in your brain right now isn't what you think. You've been misreading one of your body's most important signals. Every time you think you're overthinking, something very different is unfolding beneath the surface. Something precise, something mechanical, something your nervous system has been trying to tell you in a language you were never taught to speak. What you call spiraling isn't a flaw. It isn't weakness. It isn't proof that something is broken inside you. It's a signal, and you've been reading it backwards. This session will show you what that signal actually means. And once you understand it, your relationship with your thoughts changes permanently. Take one slow breath. Let your shoulders drop. Your system is listening. Let's decode what it's been trying to say. Picture the moment it happens. It's quiet. Your day is done. There's nothing left to solve. No emails to answer, no decisions to make. And yet your brain refuses to shut up. Most people think overthinking is a personality flaw, a weakness, something that happens to people who worry too much. It isn't. From the outside, it looks like chaos, thoughts going wild, a mind that won't cooperate. Inside, something more structured is happening. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles planning and logic, kicks into overdrive. Not because you told it to, because something deeper has signaled that an unresolved loop is still open. A loop your conscious mind doesn't notice, but your body does. Overthinking is your brain doing exactly what it evolved to do. Predict danger, run simulations, test scenarios. When your brain senses something uncertain or emotionally important, it generates possibilities, what-ifs, projections into the future, rewinds into the past. This simulation engine is millions of years old. It kept your ancestors alive. But in the modern world, it misfires constantly. Instead of scanning the forest for predators, your brain scans your inbox, your text messages, your relationships, your future, your identity. The system is ancient. The world is new. That mismatch is the first glitch. That's why it strikes at night. When the noise falls away, your body finally has the bandwidth to say, "There's something I still don't feel safe about." Your thoughts aren't the problem. They're the smoke. The deeper signal, the incomplete loop firing in your nervous system, that's the fire. Pause here for a moment. Notice your breath. Notice if your chest feels tight or open right now. Your body is always communicating. You're about to learn its language. Here's the truth that changes everything. You don't overthink because you fear the worst. You overthink because your brain doesn't have enough data. Let me explain what that means. You've been taught that overthinking is the mind chasing certainty, that anxious people just need to accept uncertainty and let go. But that's not how the mechanism works. The brain isn't seeking answers, it's seeking completion. When something in your day spikes your nervous system, even slightly, your body logs that moment as unfinished. Maybe it was a tone someone used, a tiny social discomfort, a financial worry, a moment of perceived rejection, a subtle shift in someone's energy toward you. Your nervous system registers it, not consciously, not in words, but physiologically. It creates what neuroscientists call an incomplete threat loop. And incomplete loops don't dissolve on their own. They stay active in the background, draining energy, creating tension, keeping your system on alert. When your brain lacks clarity about what happened, or what it means, or what to do next, it fills the gaps with possibilities. And possibilities multiply fast. Uncertainty becomes fuel. Fuel becomes a loop. The loop becomes a spiral. Your brain doesn't spiral because it's confused. It spirals because it's trying to finish the loop, so your system can return to baseline, so you can feel safe again. The problem is, you're trying to solve the loop with thoughts, with analysis, with mental effort. But the loop wasn't created in your thoughts. It was created in your physiology, in your body. That's why the more you think, the worse it gets. The tool you're using doesn't match the mechanism that's activated. You're trying to fix a biological event with mental effort, and that never works. Your brain isn't trying to stress you. It's trying to protect you from acting blindly, from missing something important. You think you're anxious, but biologically, you're in reconnaissance mode. The real problem is this: your brain doesn't trust that you're safe enough to stop analyzing. It doesn't believe the loop is complete, so it keeps running simulations, searching for the missing piece, the hidden danger, the thing you might have overlooked. This is why reassurance from others doesn't last. Your brain wants information, not comfort. It wants closure, not platitudes. And until it gets that signal, loop complete, threat resolved, it will keep searching. Take a slow breath. Let that settle. If you think the solution is just stop thinking, you're about to discover why that never works, and what your brain actually wants instead.
Here is where things finally make sense, where you see the machinery beneath the experience. Your nervous system operates in different states. Two matter most here. Ventral vagal, where you feel present, safe, socially connected. This is your baseline, where your body wants to live. Dorsal vagal, where you shut down, freeze, go numb, dissociate. This is where your system goes when it's overwhelmed. When you overthink, you're caught between these states, in what's called a sympathetic spike. You're not in actual danger, but your body is acting as if something needs urgent attention, as if a threat is near. Your amygdala, the almond-shaped threat detector deep in your brain, goes on alert. It's constantly scanning your environment, internal and external, looking for signs of danger. And when it picks up on something unresolved, something uncertain, something emotionally charged, it sends a signal upward to your prefrontal cortex. Something feels incomplete. We need to figure this out now. At the same time, a cascade of biological events begins. Cortisol rises. Not full panic mode, but elevated, alert, on guard. Your prefrontal cortex gets partially hijacked. It starts working overtime, but not efficiently. It's trying to solve a problem it doesn't have enough information to solve. And then predictive coding kicks in. That's your brain's pattern recognition system. The part of you that's always trying to predict what happens next. It starts filling in blanks with worst-case scenarios. Not because you're dramatic, not because you're pessimistic, because your brain would rather assume danger and be wrong than assume safety and be dead. This is survival logic. Ancient, hardwired, automatic.
Let me give you a real example of how this plays out. Imagine you send a message to a friend. They usually respond quickly. This time, hours pass. Nothing. Your conscious mind says, they're probably busy. But your amygdala flags it. Pattern disruption, possible social threat. Your cortisol ticks up slightly. Your prefrontal cortex starts running scenarios. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset with me? Are they pulling away? Your predictive coding fills the silence with narratives, most of them negative. Not because the situation is objectively threatening, but because your nervous system is wired to prioritize social safety, and ambiguity in relationships triggers the same ancient circuits that once kept you safe in tribal communities. This is biology, not weakness. Your brain sends one simple signal. Something important is unresolved. But you read it as, I'm in danger, I must control everything, I'm not good enough, something terrible is about to happen. You misinterpret the alert. You give it a storyline. It's like hearing a fire alarm and assuming the whole city is burning, when in reality, someone just burned toast. Your brain's alert is non-specific. It doesn't come with a label. It doesn't say, hey, you had an incomplete social interaction earlier. It just says, alert, unresolved, pay attention. But your mind gives it a storyline. And the storyline you choose, usually without realizing you're choosing it, determines how intense the spiral becomes. The storyline is optional. The alert is not. Overthinking is the alert, not the story you attach it to. Your system is trying to protect you using ancient survival logic. Logic designed for lions in the bushes, rival tribes, physical threats you could see and respond to. It was not designed for unread messages, passive-aggressive emails, ambiguous social cues, existential uncertainty, identity questions. You're running primal software in a modern world. That mismatch is the glitch. And once you see it, everything changes. Take a breath. Notice how your chest feels right now. Tight or open? Heavy or light? Your body is always giving you information. There are only 3 messages behind overthinking, just 3, and none of them mean you're broken. Message 1, you're about to make a decision without enough information. Your brain is saying, slow down. Not panic, just slow down and gather more data before you act. This is actually intelligent. Your nervous system is trying to prevent you from making a choice you'll regret. The problem? In the modern world, most decisions don't have clear data. Relationships are ambiguous. Career paths are uncertain. The right choice is often unclear. So your brain keeps searching for the data it will never find, and the loop never closes. Message 2, your emotional energy is scattered. Not wrong, just unfocused. Not broken, just disorganized. Your brain is attempting to prioritize. It's trying to figure out what matters most, what needs attention first, where to direct your limited resources. But it can't yet. The signals are too mixed. The priorities are unclear. So it cycles through everything, trying to find the hierarchy, trying to impose order on internal chaos. Message 3, your identity is part of the situation. This is the big one, the one most people miss. When something touches ego, self-worth, belonging, or identity, the brain amplifies the signal tenfold, because threats to identity feel like threats to survival. If you've been confused about why tiny things send you spiraling, this is why. Small problem plus identity trigger equals massive loop. Your brain overreacts not because the situation is objectively big, but because it carries emotional weight, because it touches a wound, because it echoes an old fear about who you are or whether you're enough. Now we go deeper, to the part most people never learn. Certain moments trigger overthinking more than others, not because those moments are objectively bigger, but because they tap into older, unprocessed emotional patterns. Patterns formed years ago, maybe decades ago, maybe in childhood. Your nervous system reacts strongest to experiences that resemble unresolved wounds. Experiences that feel familiar in a painful way. Let me give you 3 examples. If you grew up needing to predict danger, if your environment was unpredictable, volatile, or emotionally unsafe, you'll overthink when someone goes silent, when plans change, when you can't read someone's mood, because your system learned that unpredictability equals danger. If you grew up needing to perform to feel safe, if love was conditional on achievement or good behavior, you'll overthink when expectations rise, when you're being evaluated, when someone might be disappointed in you, because your system learned that failure equals abandonment. If you grew up with emotional inconsistency, if the adults around you were hot and cold, present then distant, loving then critical, you'll overthink even neutral uncertainty. Because your system never learned what safety feels like. It never developed a baseline for things are okay. Your body tags these situations as unfinished danger, even if your logical mind knows better, even if you're an adult now, even if the original threat is long gone. This is why overthinking feels so personal, so consuming, so hard to shake. It isn't about the situation in front of you. It's about the echo underneath it, the unprocessed imprint, the wound that never fully healed. When your body says, "I've lived this before, and it didn't end well," your brain goes into hyperanalysis, trying to prevent a repeat, trying to control the outcome, trying to make sure this time is different. You overthink because no one taught you how to feel safe without answers, without control, without knowing exactly what's coming next. But here's the truth that breaks the cycle. Analysis can't heal an emotional imprint. It can only orbit it, circle it, but never resolve it. To break the loop, you don't need more thought. You need completion, and completion happens in the body, not the mind. Pause here. Place one hand on your chest. Notice the rhythm of your breath. You're about to learn how to close the loop.
Here is the part that rewires the loop, the part that gives you your power back. We break the pattern gently, not by suppressing thoughts, not by trying to stop thinking. That's impossible and unnecessary. We reset by giving the brain what it actually wanted all along: clarity, closure, the signal that says, "Loop complete." Whenever you start to spiral, you give your body the one signal it's been waiting for: loop complete, threat resolved, you're safe now. The most reliable way to deliver that signal is a technique called somatic closure. It's simple, it's elegant, and it works because it speaks the language your nervous system actually understands. Not words, not logic, not reasoning. Pressure, breath, tone, body-based cues. Let's do it together right now. Take a slow breath. Don't force it. Just slow, gentle, natural. Now sit back, let your body settle. Feel the support beneath you. Place one hand on your chest, one on your lower ribs. Not pressing hard, just resting. Just making contact. Now slow your exhale slightly.
Let it be a little longer than your inhale. Not a lot, just a little. And then say, silently or out loud, say these words. I hear you. Pause. I feel the activation. Pause. We are safe. Pause. Incomplete loop. Closed. You're not convincing your mind of anything. You're not trying to trick yourself. You're speaking directly to your nervous system in the language it understands. And something remarkable happens. Within 15 to 30 seconds, your prefrontal cortex comes back online. The part that was hijacked, stuck in overdrive, unable to think clearly, it returns. Your amygdala quiets, the alert softens, the threat detector stands down. Your predictive coding resets, the simulations slow, the what-ifs lose momentum. The thoughts lose power because the fuel source, the physiological activation, has been discharged. Your mind was never the problem. Your physiology was waiting for permission to stand down. And you just gave it. Now, once the activation has softened, you can ask one quiet question. What is the unresolved thing my brain was alerting me to? Don't search for the perfect answer. Don't analyze it. Just sense the direction. Let the answer come to you if it wants to. Often, the brain isn't asking for a solution. It's asking for awareness, for acknowledgement, for you to simply notice what it noticed. The moment you name the unresolved element, even vaguely, even imperfectly, your brain relaxes. The alarm quiets. The simulations slow down. Because clarity, even tiny clarity, is a sedative for the mind. Your system just wanted to be heard, to be understood, to know that you're paying attention. And now it knows. Try this again on your own, right now. One more cycle. Hand on chest. Slow exhale. I hear you. I feel the activation. We are safe. Loop closed. Notice how your body responds. Notice the shift, even if it's subtle. This is the reset. This is the tool. And it's yours now. From now on, every time you notice the loop beginning, replace the phrase, I'm overthinking, with this. My brain is signaling something unresolved. This simple reframe changes everything. Instead of fighting your thoughts, you're interpreting them. Instead of drowning in possibilities, you're identifying the missing data. Instead of feeling broken, you understand the biology. Here's the shift that changes your relationship with overthinking permanently. Your thoughts are not trying to hurt you. Your body is trying to complete something. Every spiral you've ever had was your system asking for closure, not certainty, for completion, not control, for acknowledgement, not answers. You are not broken. You are not chaotic. You are not too much or too sensitive or too anxious. Your nervous system was firing an ancient mechanism without a modern explanation. Now you have the explanation. Now you understand the code. Now you have the tool. And once you understand the mechanics behind your internal storms, everything shifts. You stop fighting yourself. You stop judging yourself. You stop treating your mind like an enemy. And you start cooperating with your system, working with it, speaking its language, giving it what it actually needs. That's the reset. Every time you feel the loop beginning, pause, take a breath, place a hand on your chest, and say, I hear the signal. Let me decode it. You'll be surprised at how quickly the nervous system loosens its grip when it feels understood, when it knows you're listening, when it trusts that you're paying attention. because all it ever wanted was for you to hear it. And now you can. Your brain isn't attacking you. It's trying to help, just with outdated instructions. Instructions that made sense once, but don't fit anymore. This pattern isn't your identity. It's not who you are. It's just a loop your body learned. And loops can be rewritten.
Your brain isn't working against you. It never was. It's a hyper-alert, ancient prediction machine, doing its absolute best to guide you through a world it wasn't designed for. You're not overthinking. You never were. You're misreading a signal that's been there your entire life, a signal that was trying to help you, trying to keep you safe. And now you know how to read it. Take one more slow breath, gentle, easy. Let your system settle into this new understanding. This session is complete. Your reset is done. The signal is no longer a mystery. The loop is no longer a prison. Whenever you're ready, you can continue your day.